3 reasons you should get into hybrid training.
Training to be a hybrid athlete will change your life.
Here's what a week of training as a hybrid athlete looks like.
Hybrid athlete.
Hybrid training.
Hybrid athlete.
Hybrid athlete.
Hybrid athlete.
Why the hell is everyone suddenly obsessed with hybrid training? It seems like nowadays everyone's an expert in combining running and lifting, and it's supposedly the ultimate training style. I do understand the hype though. Being absolutely jacked while still having great cardio, that's the dream, right? I'm sure you've already heard about all the great benefits that can come from hybrid training. But there are some pretty notable problems about hybrid training that nobody seems to be talking about. So I guess I'll be the one to bring forth these issues.
Back to business, we ain't sleeping for the shit. Some be beaming, body weak, and I'm just leaking when I'm hit.
Now, although I've only started running a few months ago, I've been a hybrid athlete in a broader sense for a long time. Throughout my fitness journey, I've tried combinations like lifting with calisthenics, jumping rope, tennis, and martial arts for years. I'm also going into my 4th year as a physiotherapy student, so I have a fair understanding of how the human body works. With that out of the way, let's dive into the problems I've seen with hybrid training. One of the biggest issues with doing multiple disciplines of training at the same time is that the injury risk is higher. The reason is because people tend to jump into hybrid training too fast and their body doesn't have time to adjust to the sudden increase in training volume. You'll see gym bros who want to start running jump right into 5 runs per week on top of their gym training. These guys almost always end up getting hurt because it is simply too much too soon. It is easy to fall into this trap because you're excited to start something new, but you have to remember that getting injured is the biggest progress killer there is. So it's always better to be patient when you start. Eventually, as your body adapts, you'll be able to do much more with less risk. However, even after starting slowly, some people still overestimate how much volume they can recover from in a given week, and that leads to increased injury risk as well. A lot of hybrid beginners just take a full-fledged program from each training style and just start doing them at the same time. If each program on its own is meant to maximize your progress in its respective discipline, then they probably max out the amount of volume you can recover from on their own. Shoving 2 or more of these into the same week is a perfect recipe for getting injured from overtraining. This stems from poor programming, and programming a mix of training styles is definitely way more complicated than programming for just one. You may have heard of the phrase jack of all trades, master of none. That kind of illustrates what hybrid training is. Think about it this way. The best lifters in the world are not the best runners, and the best runners in the world are not the best lifters. This is because of a training principle called specificity. To improve at a certain skill, you must train exercises that are specific to that skill. To maximize running improvements, you need to prioritize running, not swimming, not rowing, not lifting weights. To maximize improvements in lifting weights, you must prioritize lifting weights, not running or anything else. Therefore, if your goal is, for example, to become the best bodybuilder you can possibly be, hybrid training is not what's going to get you there. Same goes for running or any other discipline. Don't get me wrong, hybrid training is a great training style and it could very much be the workout method that suits you best. However, the hype that it has gotten on social media has caused people to have a warped vision of what the benefits are. Yes, you will get in great shape if you stay consistent with a good program, but will you be jacked like a bodybuilder, strong like a powerlifter, and run like a marathoner all at once like some people online like to showcase? Very unlikely. So don't fall for the hype. It is a good training style, yes, but keep your expectations logical and realistic. In response to my last point, you might tell me that you've seen a bunch of social media athletes who have the results that I said you were unlikely to get. And yes, it's true, some people really do manage to be jacked and strong while being great runners. This is where I'd like you to remember that the people that post on social media and end up on your feed are usually the top % of athletes. Because think about it, there are probably thousands of hybrid athletes out there who have gotten very average results from their training. But those people will never end up on your feed because 1. People who get ordinary or less than ordinary results are less likely to want to post themselves online. And 2, when people don't have crazy results, the viewers on social media don't care as much, So even if they did post their average results, they'd get less engagement and are thus much less likely to show up on your feed. Whether you like it or not, the content you see is filtered in a way to show you mostly the best athletes out there. Their results are not transferable to you. On top of that, a lot of the muscular runners you see out there did not build their physique with hybrid training. Some of them started with bodybuilding, built their physique, and then started running. So always take what you see online with a grain of salt, or you'll almost always end up disappointed. Now guys, please remember that I did not make this video to discourage you from trying hybrid training. Like I mentioned at the start, I myself partake in this training style. My goal here today is simply to bring balance to the online perspective of hybrid training that's been blowing up. Since everyone is talking about the benefits and all the amazing things about being a hybrid athlete, I wanted to level the social media playing field by providing another point of view. This way you can make a fully informed, unbiased decision about whether or not you should start training hybrid. Hope you guys found this informative, and let me know in the comments if you think hybrid training is worth the hype or not. Peace.
I got so much drinking me, wonder if you missing me. These days I can't fucking sleep, it's bad, I'm out here living dreams.